people, and welcome back to the Race Up Flow podcast. I forget the episode number, but we got Riley Lassin from New York, my internet friend that I finally got to meet in person.
I know this is. I feel like we're pen pals.
So you tweeted something, and I did what I do: is fucking dunk, act like a fucking Twitter terrorist, like an asshole. And it was a funny joke, and then I fucking went even further with it.
But it was so good.
Yeah,
you
thank
just
you.
Bump it up. You just fucking.
Oh yeah, I'm well known for being a fucking asshole on the internet, but.
But like I could tell you're like a sweet asshole. It's like you don't actually.
Well, you're from back east. I'm just breaking balls. Like
right,
I'm
literally,
fucking around.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a hard time.
Right.
But I forget the first one that I responded to because you're very funny on Twitter, and I responded to something, and it must have been like right at the beginning of the pandemic. I mean, like close to 4 years ago now.
Yes.
And we've been friendly ever since. But you came into town for the Netflix as a joke week. Mm-hmm. And now you're here.
I know. I was like, I have to hit up Randy.
Yeah.
I was like, who do I know in LA?
This weird
first
guy.
Time too. My first time ever in LA. So I was like,
that's crazy.
I was like, I really am like, I don't know. Who do I know? And you popped up in my head. I was like, yes.
How long have you been doing comedy?
7 years.
No shit.
7 years now. Yeah. You too?
Yeah.
Well, stop it.
When did you start?
2017.
Okay.
About 2017, I think.
Yeah. My first spot. Easy to remember. Labor Day 2016.
Okay,
September 9th or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something like a little over 7 years.
Was it open mic? It was an open mic?
Yeah, it was brutal.
Did you like open mics? I feel like you fucking killed open mics.
No, man.
I feel like all those guys would be like, yeah, Randy's here.
No.
Yeah.
So I was telling you earlier, I started in Boston.
Oh, right.
And the comedy scene's always fun in most places, but Boston's a little more progressive. Mm-hmm. And, I was a New Yorker, and this the whole Boston, New York thing. But more importantly, I started at 33 years old. These are a bunch of most comedy scenes. It's like a bunch of 23-year-old dorks trying to figure this shit out. Like they feel like misfits.
Sure.
And I had like a real career before I started doing this, and I just quit that to do this.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, a guy in his mid-30s.
Like this is high stakes. You're like, I'm coming in. We gotta get this ball going.
So I was going to 2-3 open mics a night.
Yeah.
And I was. Fucking mid-30s guy. Like, who the fuck is this asshole?
Who's this dad coming in?
I'm all swollen. I sound like a fucking thief. Like I told you, give me your fucking purse. That's what I sound like.
This New Yorker.
So it took a while for me to ingratiate myself, but also like I had the same, like the premises I thought were funny are the same. I just had no punchlines. So I got up there and it sounded like a fucking manifesto. It just did not sound good.
Honestly, most open mics, that's what it sounds like.
I know. Well,
that's what it sounds like. Yeah,
I feel like I wasn't getting laughs in any consistent basis for over a year.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
and it was just mics after mics. Or
so in Boston, Boston. It's as small as it is.
I don't really know much about the scene.
Well, so the thing about Boston is people think it's like, Boston, New York, the rivalry. Boston is 1/16 the size of New York. It's 800,000 people.
So it's tiny.
New York is like 20 million.
It's like Philly.
Yeah,
it's like Philly.
Oh, Philly's 3, 4, 5
Philly
times.
entire.
Yeah. So it's a small town, but it's got a ton of comics. Because 2 out of 3 of the fucking biggest acts work right now started in Boston. Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, Griffin Simmons, all these guys.
Sure, yeah.
So it has good DNA, and there's a ton of fucking spots to do. And they're all like 2 miles, and it's all flat, so you can walk it.
That's what's so nice.
So
this is LA shit. I booked 2 shows last night. People were like, 2 shows in one.
You're a hero.
North Hollywood, and it was what's the beach?
Oh, Redondo.
The V.
Venice.
The
V.
Vagina
Beach. I'm going tonight.
It was like I was like, oh, this is far. At the same time.
Yeah, people don't work that hard.
No, people don't. People say it's not like New York. That's not like New York.
That's the thing about LA. LA's got like a ton of like reputable comedians and show business people, but the stage time is tough to come by, and the crowds in this town, I'll say it, fucking stink.
Really? I've been enjoying that. Oh, you know what? It's the week too. The Netflix is the energy's a little different.
The energy, the people come in for that.
Sure.
That's like an event.
Yeah.
Like your typical Tuesday show, it's some woke fucking chick with an alimony check who thinks she knows the world.
Okay, so it's a little different on off.
Yeah, but in New York, you can do. I think I looked it up once. If you wanted to, you can do a spot every hour from 3 p.m. till 3 a.m.
Yes, I did 6 spots.
Every day.
6 spots one night, and I remember being like, honestly,
6 spots?
after the 4th spot, you're just like, what fucking joke did I say? Because you know what I mean? You start to go up and you're like, and that's my fear is like, I'm going to repeat a joke. Oh, I'm so nervous all the time. And I'm up there like, hey, what did I say to you guys? But it was really cool. You did comedy the whole night.
I know.
The whole night. You're just on stage.
Here's the funniest, one of the funniest Boston comedy stories. We're talking about me starting out there that I've ever heard. So, was it Don Gavin, a fucking legend, right? There's like these legends that like Joe Rogan looks like. He's had these old fucking, guys from Boston, these Route 1 comics. It's Don Gavin. The guy would drink White Russians in like the mid 80s to the early 90s, and they get blackout drunk. These are big Irish fucking, all of them drunks, all of them drug addicts.
White Russians is so funny.
All of them paid in cash in the comedy boom in the 80s. They were giving them like $300 a spot in the 80s. And they would do like 5 spots a night and not report any of the income. These guys all got fucking strung up by the IRS.
Oh, shit.
But I went to the Don Gavin roast, I think it was like his 70th birthday in Boston before I left at Laugh Boston. They're all telling stories about Don. Mm-hmm. And I think it was it Steve Sweeney or Lenny Clark? I think Lenny Clark was telling the bit. He's like, I was doing a show with Don one night. He's drinking like we all are. And he gets, Don likes to get fucked up. It's the third show of the night. He's on stage. He launches into a joke. Fucking somebody in the crowd realizes, hey, you've already told that joke.
Oh.
And
Don
from the stage goes, how many times is it? The guy goes, 3. He goes, the record's 7. And he finishes the joke.
Oh, shit. He's like, I'm going to lean into this. Fuck you.
He said the record is 7.
That's amazing. Oh, shit.
But that's the kind of
That's the kind of
DNA that's coming out of Boston. So, it's a great town for that. And you could do like three, the most, I think the most in one night, like 4 open mics.
And the open mics, boom.
Yeah, and the open mics, people like in Boston, they just do them at a bar.
Okay.
So you'll spring a fucking comedy show on unsuspecting people.
Yep, New York same way.
The fucking Bruins gets on. Hey, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I gotta say, those shows really they teach you a lot. They really, nobody wants you there. No,
yes.
Nobody wants you.
It lets you know how much you want to do it.
Yes.
That you stay up there and take the abuse.
You take it.
No. I'm going to do my fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah, and you wait for that light. You keep it going. It hurts. And the thing is, like, I was like, you know what? Let me try mics. I did like 2 mics, and then I went and did a bringer show. It was at Caroline's, and I did a bringer, and I was like, oh,
Caroline's,
this is great.
R.I.P.
All right, right? And
I saw David Tell's last show there last year.
Oh, see, it was so
what
cool.
A gem.
What a gem, right?
Yeah.
And Dave, what a gem! Like the whole thing's amazing. And I remember being like, oh, I like this. I like doing a show.
Yeah,
can't do bringers every day.
No.
Yeah, how do you do that, right? So I was like, how
also,
do I
your
get
friends
up?
will fucking hate you.
Right. Literally, I have friends to this day.
They're laughing because they love you, right? And then like, all right, now I'm not spending any more money.
Right,
Fuck
exactly.
you, man.
And to this day, they won't like. Some of them will be like, I'll be like, oh, I have a headlining show, whatever. 7 years, like I'll be on lineups with good comics. They're like. They have PTSD. They're scared. Like, Riley, we were there.
I didn't tell my family I was doing comedy until like 15 months after that.
My mom wanted me to do stand up.
Oh my god.
She wanted so badly. She was like, I want
you
to do stand up. They're so into it, but
no, my family's super supportive. I just didn't want to tell anybody because I was like, if I fucking suck at this, like let me get funny before I tell anybody.
No, it's smart. I wanted to do shows. I was like, I love shows. So instead of doing mics, what I did.
What'd you do?
I barked. Every day.
That's a very New York thing. You don't see any barking in LA because no one's on the street.
I don't see any more barking.
Yeah, no one's walking the streets.
I bark I did maybe the 8 o'clock show, 9:30 show, midnight show.
You know what that's like? It's kind of like door-to-door sales. Like you're like
I would be a great salesperson.
No, but that's like, no barking. I feel like barking makes you better at comedy because whatever ego you have,
it's gone.
Check that shit at the door because you're just hustling people on the streets.
It is gone.
And if you can make someone laugh in 10 seconds as they're walking by, it's a great skill to have for the business.
I know half the time it's like, oh, tell me a joke, or my friend can do comedy. It's like literally you have to get through so much.
And some people are good at it.
I gotta say, I was not bad.
I know. I'm sure you know my boy. Shout out Brandon Trusso.
Oh, Brandon. Oh, sweetheart.
He turned that grizzly pear was a fucking dead room into one of the hottest little rooms.
And that was my midnight show on Wednesdays.
Fire, yeah.
I started the first, I remember they wanted to do midnight at the Pear. And I was like, I'll try. I did a Wednesday at midnight. And I'd bark at, oh my God, it was me. Marcelo Hernandez. We would bark together. I love Marcelo. It was all these Mallory Bryant, all these people. We all bark together. Brandon, I met him later on. And it was so fun. Oh, your friends are out, and the time goes by, and you get stage time in front of audiences.
I feel like when I think back, I feel like now, like, oh, of course, those are the people who keep going.
Right, like all the shit we had to go.
Like, at the time, you're like, who the fuck are all these people? And then, like, as the years go on, the people fall away, move on to different things, move to different places, go on to different interests or whatever. Be like, oh, of course. All the people I was out in the street with in the middle of the middle of the night.
Still grinding this shit.
Yeah, they cared enough to do that. They're going to still be around,
Right. And I still see sometimes when I see a barker and they're like on the street, sometimes I'm like, I kind of want to be like, hey, I kind of, like, sometimes it'll like muscle memory. Like I'll start being like, hey, you guys want to see a comedy show? Like when I'm on the show.
Oh, they'll bark to me.
Yeah.
When I was,
that's great.
They don't know I'm from New York.
Yeah, right,
so I walk by, I'm like, oh, thanks, man. I always take the fucking thing.
See, that's respectful. Yeah. I've had, when I started, I remember this one comic, I don't know
because I've been on the other side of it. That's so I know. Like, I'm not gonna fucking throw it.
You know exactly. You're not gonna be disrespectful, but like this one comic, I remember to this day. I don't remember what her name is. I don't remember what she looked like. I remember she went, "You don't know me." She goes, "Know me next." Like you don't know. I remember being like, "No, I don't know you." Look, I'm sorry. Like, but I was like, "What? My bad." Like, I'm sorry.
The opposite of that happens though too. So I tour with Jeff Dye, and he talks about this. He's like, "Yeah, people come up to me after the show, like." Oh, I never heard of you before, but you're actually funny. He's like, you didn't need that first premise.
Mm-hmm. Like, or like, oh, you're a female, you're funny.
Yeah,
I get that a lot too.
What is that?
I didn't like female comics, but I saw you and like you're funny. I was like,
well, that's on you, man.
Man, you didn't have to fucking say. You didn't have to say the first part. There was a booker of a club, and he said to me, it was my first time there. He said, if I like you, he goes, I don't like female comics, but if I like you,
a booker.
It was like a manager booker type. I clocked it right out. I said, He said, if I like you, I'll get your information after. I said, first of all,
that's how it works for every comic.
First of all, yeah, but I don't like female comics. But if I like
that
you,
part, yeah.
Why do we? What the heck was that?
I don't like most people I don't know.
Yeah, I just remember you're just so shocked that you're just like, okay, like okay, sir. And after that, I was like, I'm good. I
know. Well, but that's one of the things. Just talking about female comedians, that's one of the biggest like fallacies out there. Like, oh, women aren't funny. It's like maybe the women you've seen. Because I feel like some of the funniest female comedians I know are not like a great example. Like Jessica Kirson is top 3 funny people on earth.
Yes.
On earth.
Oh,
and
I think she's amazing.
Why are they putting up this fucking bum on whatever female comic has their latest special on Netflix? And how does Jessica not have one?
Well, I think that goes with anything. Right.
And I think it comes out to marketability. She's a 50-something-year-old lesbian. Right. But she's got 30 years into comedy. She's a killer. It's hard to sell, feminine healthcare products with her because she doesn't care. So they want to go with this one who they can sell with.
See, that's so hard.
Right?
It's so hard. It's
the business gets in the way of the comedy.
The business, right, business, because she's amazing.
But
truly.
in the internet age now, of course, Bill Burr's producing her shit, and now she's fucking famous.
Bill Burr. Right. You're right.
Watch this, and everyone's like, okay, she's really good.
Yeah, that's true. And I realized too after comedy shows, a lot of my guy friends will get like numbers and like, where can I find you? And I've never had a man be like, hey, like I would love to take you out sometime. Never after a comedy show.
What do you think that is?
I think it's the whole like, oh, I don't fuck with female comics. They might not even see a female. Like they probably don't even watch comedy. They just have that ingrained in them already. So they're like, oh, this. I don't know.
I also think it's a little bit of an ego thing with men.
Oh, because they got to be the funny ones.
No, not they got to be the funny one.
Well, that happens sometimes.
It's that they you're on stage. You're the focus of attention. Mm-hmm. Right, and it's emasculating to go up to like, oh, hey, can I, like.
Also, the feel of emasculate. Okay, interesting.
Well, think about it. Like, after like a fucking J-Lo concert, do you think the guys are like trying to? Oh, can you please? Maybe?
Well, J-Lo, I'm not.
Yeah, like they slide in her DMs. They know they got no fucking shot. So they feel this big.
Too. Oh well, yeah. It's very interesting. It's very and like I had this one joke about. It's a joke about vaginismus, about like a tight pussy.
Vaginismus?
Vaginismus.
What's a vaginismus?
So vaginismus.
Say it slower. Hang on, I'm getting hard.
Sound like a disease
I know, vaginismus? I know. Why getting hard? It sounds like a disease at first.
Vaginismus.
Vaginismus. Yeah.
That sounds like the 13th day of Christmas. Vaginismus.
You're like, it's a holiday. Well, technically.
I celebrate it every time I jerk off.
It's the sale at the sex shop every 12 days. 12 days of vaginismus, everybody.
like it's supposed to be this like medical thing for women, and Randy's over here like, yeah,
Vaginismus is your pussy's too tight. Never heard of it.
Got his vaginismus asthment calendar. Just open little
Well, but what's in each one? A dildo?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Lube, condom.
Oh, that's cute.
That's cute.
Honestly, if a man got me
vaginismus.
that, stop. If a man got me that,
Vaginismus.
that's so sweet.
What is vaginismus?
So vaginismus. I didn't think I'd bring it
Cleanup
up.
wipes, maybe.
We're starting off hot here.
I know, like, woo. I didn't even think I'd bring that. That's hilarious. So when I was in college, right? Everyone's fucking, right? And I'm like, I'm trying to have sex, right? I'm trying to have sex.
I was trying.
I have sex. I almost passed out from it. It was
sex?
so painful. It was so painful. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What's happening? I couldn't use the tampons, couldn't do all that shit. I go to my gynecologist and she's like, I think you need to drink some wine, relax, maybe go for smaller dicks. I'm like, that's crazy.
That's good news for the little dick guys out there. Guys, vaginismus is a disease that'll get you fucking laid, brother.
Short during summer, vaginismus.
Because I was like, what do I say to a guy I'm on a date? Hey, pull down your pants real quick. I just got to check something out before we can like further the
Every
date.
guy would be thrilled. Oh, you're way too big for me. No matter what they pulled out,
And
you're
the
way
thing
too
is,
big
like,
for me.
Sir, it's not
What am I
you.
gonna fuck you with?
You know what it's like? Sir, it's not you. It's me.
It's me.
It's me.
Yeah.
It's all me.
You're huge. I'm just
Right.
tiny.
And what it is, though, I went to another gynecologist when I moved to New York City. Because at this point, I'm 22 now, almost 23. And I'm like, man, I got fuck. I was like, how am I not fucking right now?
Wait, you haven't? When did you lose your virginity?
24.
Whoa.
I was 24.
Were you like religious or something?
No, it's the vaginismus. It's the
But her asshole was killing her.
That's wild. I've talked about this
She's
before.
like a Mormon.
I've never been like.
I was a vaginal
But wait,
virgin.
if you
From a
think
complete
my
stranger.
pussy's, but if you think like that's tight, back there everything's tight. Yo, my whole body's like everything's tight. So I go.
You're gonna get so many DMs after this episode.
I just
was like, I have
realized
the
as
tightest
I'm
pussy on
talking about
earth.
this, I'm like, this is too much. I love talking about vaginismus though because a lot of women.
I just like saying the word.
A lot of women do have this and they don't.
Where are
know.
Is there?
They're at home. They're at home, like with their dildo, like open up.
Is there a
open up.
registry that can? Is there
there's
a
probably
dating
a
site
whole-
I can?
Honestly, there's probably a whole community, and I want to join them because honestly, for a while, I felt very alone. It is very sad because you don't know what's wrong, right? You want to have sex.
Yeah.
It's so painful. You don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So it is fun. At first, though, it was spooky. It was spooky. I was scared. I went to another gynecologist.
So wait a minute.
Yes,
Let's back up a second. 24 years old. You're trying to have sex.
Yeah.
Did you not fool around in high school to like explore a little bit?
a little bit, but like even like fingering and all that, what was painful.
But you said you couldn't put a tampon in. We're like other girls like, why can't you put a tampon?
I was okay. This is how crazy, Randy.
That's what I'm saying, like, there's, like,
I'm
normal
so
things.
open. You hear me? I'm
Yeah,
so open.
yeah.
You see me online. I'm open about everything. I was so embarrassed that I could not put in a tampon.
Catholic?
Jewish.
Oh, even worse.
Yeah.
I get it.
Cracking me
I
up.
get it. I get
I'm
it.
dead.
I get it.
Catholic, Jewish. Okay.
I'm Catholic.
But I was like the first one to be like, I got my period. Like I was so open since I was a kid, and when I couldn't put in a tampon, I was thoroughly like I was embarrassed. I was like, what's wrong with me?
Had you masturbated before this?
No, I was so. It was like you know what when a doctor gives you a shot.
Yeah.
You can do it. But if you give yourself a shot, you're kind
Okay.
of nervous. That was happening. I was
Okay.
like, I did that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm scared. Right.
Yeah.
So when I went to that first gynecologist and she's like, bitch, drink some wine and relax. I'm like, man, I'm trying to relax.
That's really fucking rude of a doctor. Hey, bitch, stop being.
I'm like, did they
stop
teach you
being-
that in
stop
school?
being so uptight.
Right.
Can you imagine?
You're uptight and your pussy's uptight.
Yeah, your doc's
okay?
saying, hey, stop being a fucking tight ass.
But I was like, what the fuck? So when I moved to New York, I was getting mad. Now I was getting like,
So you went all through college, nothing.
not sex, no sex.
Wow.
And I was
Where'd you go to
getting-
school?
I was a lot of blowjobs.
Had to stay popular somehow.
Still very popular with the men.
It's-
Sure,
you
I'll
know
tell you
what?
that Riley, she won't let you fuck her, but she'll blow the shit out of you.
And you know what? I think about all the time. I'm like, damn, because I was like, oh, if I blow this guy, and again, it's hilarious, but when you think about it, it sucks because I wanted
Sucks
to
for
fuck.
you.
I wanted to fuck, but I was
Sucks for
like,
you.
well, I'll give a blowjob, and I
Did nothing in
enjoyed
it for you.
I had nothing in it for me. I enjoyed it, but nothing in it for me. So when I moved to New York and I was getting mad, I was getting all these blowjobs. I went to
Blowing your way through town.
I went. Sounded like a hoe.
No, you couldn't fuck. I'm
I
sorry,
know.
guys. I want to fuck you, but I can't.
And I didn't even tell the dudes. I wasn't even like, hey guys.
Well, how would you bring up the word
Because I didn't even
vaginismus and go
and
through
I didn't
all
know.
this? Yeah.
But I also didn't even know what the word was. I just knew something wasn't right. And when I went, so I found another second gynecologist. Went to her. She did a pap smear. No pap smears.
Yeah.
They put this in you, right? Like long, like
It is pretty.
It's long. It's a big.
It is pretty medieval what they do to women.
It's very
at the
intense.
gynecologist. They
It's
have the
intense.
stirrups and like little wrenches.
You gotta
and
put
shit.
up the- oof.
Yeah, I'm like, what is?
It's
like,
very-
I gotta turn them to the left and right and cough, and that's the end of my fucking check.
Right.
You know?
Mine is like, oh my gosh, should I shave for her? Like it's a very
Yeah.
intense, very personal.
Yeah, it takes 3 days to figure it out. Like,
Right.
You're gonna get personal with somebody once you're over 40.
I know exactly.
Right,
I mean,
right.
they didn't discover the G spot until like the mid '80s. They're
They
still
don't-
finding things in the vagina. Can you believe that?
It's like the ocean. The vagina is like the sea. We've only discovered 2%
Wow,
of
we
it.
found there's another part.
It's like,
what?
are they scared?
Yeah,
What's
they-
down there? Mermaids? Like, what's happening? Why are they so
like the
nervous?
lost city of Atlantis.
Why are they so scared? Just because we're females. They're just like, oh. The lost city of Atlantis. That's
We've been warned of staring into the abyss.
Don't look at the sun.
They're like, oh, it's too wet. It's too wet. We can't go further. But I did go to the second one, and she was great.
Yeah.
She was lovely. Did the pap, and I almost passed out once again.
From the pap. I mean,
From
the
the
pap's
pap.
more abrasive than a fuck.
And I had
Yeah.
and I've had a pap before, and I had to do the whole breathing through whatever. And she goes, oh, I know what's wrong. And I literally, it's like the heavens.
What?
The heavens opened up. I was like, oh my
She's
God.
like, what?
She said,
You're trans.
No, it's just. Because like you didn't,
Yeah, how
I
do
don't
you
know
know?
what's going on.
Well,
and that's okay too.
look,
but
look.
I'm not looking.
We've all, like, as a woman, you've seen other vaginas. As a man, I've seen other penises. But
Right.
you don't like inspect like.
Also, vaginas too. Like
Well,
kind of have
just-
to open.
Yeah,
the,
like ours is dick and two balls.
Right.
You're like, oh, I see her slit. I have one too. It's the same.
Right,
But
and
you're
I
not like, wait a
never-
minute.
I never
Wait a
looked
minute.
in
Hers
it.
is 3 times larger than mine.
Right. And everyone's is so different. Honestly, health class when they're like, take a mirror, look at your private part, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I was mad at mine. You know what? This is like a therapy. I don't know if I was
relieved
mad.
to know that this is something that
That can be
that
fixed.
the world's aware of. I don't
Yes.
have this. I don't have a broken pussy. Other women have a pussy like this.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought it was a broken pussy, and I was calling it broken pussy for a while. And honestly,
I
that probably
think I
made
know
me
the
feel
name
worse.
of the podcast. Broken pussy.
Broken pussy.
Or
Is it
no,
really?
I think I'm gonna go vaginismus.
Vaginismus? Oh, I love it. Literally, anytime I talk about my vaginismus, I'm just like, it does make me happy because, like, I've talked about it on stage before.
Well,
and,
especially with 24 to figure it out.
right,
It's
and
such
other
a crucial
women,
age. you know?
yes, and other women are like, I think I have that. To this
Who
day,
are these women? I'm taking. I'm registering.
Randy's like in the community, like,
Yeah,
hey guys.
I'm gonna start a dating app for just for women with vaginismus,
Them
and I'm gonna be the only guy on it.
I love.
Them and the micropenis community do cruises together.
Yes.
But the thing
Oh my
is,
god, dude! I think you found my like niche market.
Randy does comedy.
The
on
micro
cruise.
penises and the vaginismus girls.
I thought I needed a small penis too. That's what I thought too for the longest time. But with
Well, it's a
vaginismus,
muscle. You work it out.
That's beautiful. Right? That's
Right.
it. That's exactly because I was like, what is it? And she goes, literally, it's a muscle. Your vagina is a muscle, and what you do, you work it out.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, it's psychological. It's your body, and you have to kind of connect the two.
Okay.
It could be for women trauma. It could be
Oh,
you know,
I bet.
nerves.
Oh, I bet.
There's a
After
lot
sexual
of
assault,
lot
like that,
going
they
on.
get
Yes,
really- they get really-
and they could have sex their whole life, and all of a sudden, they
One horrible
have
moment
that,
and they stop having
and
sex,
they
it becomes a
have the
problem, yeah.
and their pussy's tightening up on them, and it's not. They're not doing it. It's their body. It's like an instant reaction, right? So she's like, you just have to warm up
Yeah.
your pussy.
So
I was
now
like, okay.
I'm glad to say Riley can sit on a fire hydrant.
I just have to do my breathing.
Yeah.
I just have to do
You know,
some
she has to
breathing.
do a couple minutes of
couple minutes
transcendental
breathing,
meditation, and boop right to the floor on a
I just need
on
to
a
do
fire
some
hydrant.
breathing, and that's what I say. To this day, I was like, when I'm with a man, I was like, I just gotta breathe, because like it really is like breathing, relaxing your body. And I asked her, I was like, how do I fix this? How do I? She said I had 2 options.
Surgery.
So, well, I was that would have been great.
What do
Get
they
in and
do?
out. So first one, she said you can get a dildo and like open up.
Could you
I
imagine?
should go on Amazon and get a Theragun.
Oh yeah, dude. He's got,
Just like Angus.
Mike now pulled up power tools on the fucking monitor.
I've seen him on the sidelines of the
Oh
NFL.
yeah. Honestly,
got a
I
cramp, you got
wonder.
a
I never
pap.
thought. Maybe. Well,
With all the things I've seen in videos, how I haven't seen one of you gals pull one of those things out.
Oh, I've seen it, dude. I've seen it.
I was like, I bet you've stumbled. Maybe not stumbled. You might have looked that up.
Stumbled onto that?
Oh.
No, I mean, I've seen Theraguns.
I was like, I could see you looking that up. But I was scared when she said, get yourself a dildo. I said, I don't even like
So
touch
you
myself.
started with a baseball bat and just worked with the fat end first?
And work it up. Right. On the other angle. But I was like, okay, I don't even touch myself. Like, how am I even going to do that? So she said, go to physical therapy. And
Who is your physical therapist? How do I get that job?
So literally,
yeah, dude.
Honestly, that's the only thing a guy
Some
will
guys
say.
just working you out. Listen, I'll just pound you out twice a week in my apartment.
A guy will say after like a comedy show, if I do talk about vaginismus, they'll say, "Oh, I could have fixed that." I'm like, shut the fuck! No, you couldn't. It's a medical
condition.
issue. I think that shit's so funny. I was Washington Heights. This doctor,
Dominicans, my people.
There's a little
Dominican.
Jewish one. You're Dominican?
I'm happy.
Stop! I live in Washington Heights.
Those are my people.
I love it up there.
Like, Mommy, I got you.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that makes me so happy.
We'll just fuck until it doesn't hurt. I'm like, that doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good. That sounds
so
horrible.
traumatizing.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
That sounds
That's
awful.
called rape.
That sounds awful. Oh my god. That sounds awful. But I love. I was Washington Heights.
Yeah.
Little Jewish woman, little doctor, and it was the first day I was there. I was so nervous. Because it's very invasive. It's like technically
Fucking,
finger.
imagine.
Yeah. It's like you're just, you know how you have when you have like a
She's
tight,
like hitting the walls.
right? And
Yeah.
just the outside, just like desensitizing.
She had an old Jewish woman rubbing the outside of her
no,
vagina.
she was younger. She was so cute.
That must have been hot. You should have filmed it for OnlyFans.
She was very sweet. Oh, there's no OnlyFans then. There's only.
I know. Money could have been made.
Can you
Money
imagine?
could have been made.
But she was a sweetheart.
I'm going to go back to medical school and specialize in vaginismus.
It's hard. It's a physical therapist. That's a
I have
long.
to go to
That's a
medical
lot.
school? That's just 4 years.
I don't know.
That's 4 years, not 8. I can do 4 more years.
You can do 4 more years.
And just massage out vaginas, tight vaginas. Could you imagine what kind of woman would come to me? Like,
That's so spooky.
What if I actually had the
that's so
credentials
spooky.
to like be a physical therapist and cure vaginismus? I'm like, yeah, I specialize in vaginismus.
And cure vaginismus.
No woman, I would get zero business. Like you fucking.
But
animal.
you have this charm about you, and I think you would get to a point where you just want to help them, and you just want them to have sex.
I would, and you know what's funny about that too? And I learned this from a buddy of mine from college. His dad was a gynecologist, and we break his balls about it. Hey, who are you looking at today? And one time he's like, "Listen, boys." He's like, I work in Newark.
Oh, shit.
He's like, there's not a fucking line of 200 Victoria's Secret models outside my office. He's like, your moms, your aunts, that's who's coming to my office. He's like, maybe once a month some girl out.
He sees the as a
Yeah.
it's medical. It's
Yeah,
not
maybe
so...
once a month some actually attractive girl comes in, but also they don't want to be there. He's like, it's really invasive. He's like,
And they're bringing me their problems.
yeah,
They're not
exactly. Yeah.
bringing
And they
me
come
a
in to me
Friday
with,
night.
you see this growth. What's
Right.
wrong with my vaginismus? Like, it's not
They're
like,
looking at it
it's
as
not
a
like,
medical, which
look
is
at
good.
my perfect
Yes,
vagina, please.
exactly, which it should,
He's like,
it should be. Yeah, yeah.
He's like, it really takes the fun out of the vagina. That's what he said.
Oh God.
He goes, I come home, your mom wants to have sex. I'm like, nah, I've seen enough.
Oh shit. Oh shit. I know my friend's dad was one. And you know what? I never
All
asked.
day.
I never
it's like
asked.
a mechanic. It's like, oh, you're working on cars. Yeah, you want to work on the car at home? Fucking no.
It's like a comedy. It's like all day. It's like during the day, my friend's like, "Oh, you want to do this? Want to do that?"
I
I'm
want
like,
to smoke
I don't
weed
really
and
wanna
watch
talk.
TV and not talk.
Yeah,
Can you
I
shut
don't really
the
want
fuck
to talk.
up?
I don't really want to do it. It does take the fun, but like, it's good that you see it as a medical tool. And she even said to me, she goes, "At the end of this, I want you to have sex." She goes, "I don't care what happens. We're gonna get you to have sex."
Okay.
And the fact that was her mission, and that could be your mission.
Yeah.
That's all. That's honestly
Someone
all.
besides me.
Yeah. And that's all. And it was great. I went for about a year, twice a week.
Okay, so 24. You went 23 to 24?
I was 23 when I went.
Okay.
I started at 23, and then I had sex at 24. So I was
Okay.
like maybe like 4 months after.
Okay.
It was like with a dude. And I remember.
And how was the first time? Was it like, you like ready for it? Or
You know what she said to me? I remember one week I was there, and she's like, "Are you talking to anybody right now? Like, are you like seeing anybody?" And I said, "Well, I am like kind of fooling around with this guy, but like we don't have sex. We gotta do everything else, right?"
I told him about vaginismus.
No, I don't even tell him. He didn't
Good,
even know. He
good.
didn't even know. And it's like the thing is,
Well,
now
at least you know he's a good guy.
Right.
He hung around like, yeah, I like her. I'll wait it out.
and then I don't know if it even was like a waiting out thing. It was more of just like, yeah, we hooked up. We didn't have sex. It was like, it was getting there to the point of like, we'll probably have sex soon, right?
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, yeah, it could go either way.
Yeah.
And when she was like, you know what? Fuck this guy. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, do it. I was like, okay.
Shout out to your doctor and whoever she said.
Yeah, she
that
said-
guy owes your doctor a tip.
She's like, go do it. She goes to that guy. And I was like, and I didn't tell the dude. I remember it was, and you know what it is? Anybody, you can tell them. You don't have to tell them whatever you want to do.
Can the guy notice? Because it might be uncomfortable with you, and they just keep jamming it in. Yeah.
See, I'm very grateful that I have been with men that have been like, "Are you okay?"
Good.
Because when you see someone who isn't anything, you stop.
That's
Are
a big,
you okay?
That's a
Are
big
you
part about sex
good?
being fun is that the other person wants to make sure
right. You want to feel safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, the other person like is having fun too. Like.
Yes.
I've never like. I can't imagine being aroused by a woman who doesn't want to be with me. You know, like, oh, what a turn off. You don't like me? Get out of here. Like,
right.
Like,
yeah,
I want you to be into it, you know?
Yes, because you can tell a bad person is like, oh, fuck, whatever, I'm just fucking. It's like, no, you want to make sure you feel safe. And also, for me, my pussy, I want to feel safe. My pussy wants to feel safe.
I know. It took you years to open it up.
Right. That's the thing, too. It'll open up. Yeah. If I feel safe, if I feel comfortable, I've recycled so many.
Cycled what?
I tend to, like, hook up with the same dudes because my pussy, it's like memory foam. It knows.
Okay. Like,
it knows the man.
Yeah, he's been here before.
Right. He's always been here.
Gotcha,
Right. So like with this guy, I didn't tell him. And
why would you? How do you explain that?
Well, I do now. I actually do.
Dinner date.
So what if you're fucking and something scares you, like a car alarm goes off or something? You just like break someone's dick off?
It's like it's like a Chinese finger trap. You can't get out.
I will say now, like, by the way, like, it takes a bit. It takes a bit to open. It takes a bit to, like, relax me, to warm me up. And a lot of guys will be like,
"Oh, a positive side effect."
Yes.
From this, like,
okay,
it means I feel like if you for you to feel comfortable sexually, physically, to be comfortable with them emotionally, to open up, that I feel like creates a good barrier to not waste the experience on an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because like you'll know the asshole right away.
You're not gonna feel physical pleasure unless you can like mentally relax. And like, if I can't relax, then I shouldn't be having sex with this guy. You know?
That's a great point. Yeah, and a lot of guys, and I'm like I said again, I've met guys, I've talked to guys that will be like, oh, of course, we can do that, no problem. As soon as if I ever see a guy and he's like, what the fuck is that? What do you mean you have to do that? Fuck you.
Oh,
bye.
My God.
We're out.
We've been talking about it for 15 minutes. I'd be endlessly fascinated. I'm like, vaginismus. I was like, we don't have to have sex anymore. Can we just talk about this for 3 hours? Can you imagine the very beginning?
We were like, wow, it's a holiday. And now you're like, oh, this is very, very okay.
Randy's going to be doing laps around your doctor's office.
I'm just super like, what, dude?
And I love her. I miss her. I want to go back. Honestly.
No one masturbated you better than that doctor.
Honestly, she was amazing. And like people would be like, oh, did you get off there? I'm like, you don't get off. It's not you get off. It's a muscle. Like you said, Randy, it's a muscle. So you have a tight whatever and you take a tennis ball and you roll out it's the same fucking thing. It hurts and then it loosens up. Then you feel good. Then you can do what you want. I still like, you have to practice again. You have to like, work on yourself, practice the breathing, do all the things. I don't always do it. So when I have sex, I sometimes have to really like chill out.
What I love about this conversation is that it kind of highlights the fact that like, I feel like women are always talking about guys' dicks, right? Mm-hmm. But just the world assumes, all pussy's great.
I wonder if do you think it's a size? No difference. Do you think it's a size? Like the sizes, the way it's so easy to talk about dicks because we can see an instant difference.
Because nobody cares about men.
Man, I had to pay out of pocket for all of this vaginismus. No one gives a shit about women's health.
You can call men fat, a fucking loser. Small.
No, but do you think it's the sizes? Do you think it's easy? No, we can see the size and we can see the difference, so we can be like, oh, that like we can talk about dicks easier.
Think about this. Not even just sizes with men.
Okay.
Right. Like the way it looks, the shape, the curve, the width, the head, the chest. Like there's all sorts of different sizes. But women are just like small dick, little dick. That's it. Right.
But I have heard about
tits. And ass.
Honestly, the amount of times that I've heard like people talk shit about tits.
Oh no, of course.
Yeah.
Because those are. But
that's the thing. You can see the sizes.
But just getting to have sex with a woman is such a treat for a man. That's like, I'm not going to talk shit about this.
Yeah, because you're like, I'm going to lose it. I can't talk to it. Okay.
Yeah, I got the gifts. Fuck, I'm going to shut up. But it's like, I'm fucking 41 years old. I've been around the block fucking 400 times. It's like
you're 41. That's so crazy.
Yeah, I'm an old man. I'll be 41 next week.
When's your birthday?
Next Sunday.
Where are we in May?
Yeah, I'll be 41 on
that's
Sunday.
Great. Yeah. Oh, happy birthday. I love that.
But like, it's like, all pussy is good pussy. I'm like, no. Like, Sometimes it just doesn't work out. Like some of them, like,
and that's okay.
And that, the shape, the size, the feeling, the viscosity. Sometimes when we do like, and there's think about it, like so much of the vagina is unseen, so you don't know till you're up. Like you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
my favorite.
It really is the ocean.
You truly don't know, and I think about all the time.
And
like
there's a chemistry, right? Like with the guy, like yours might work, like the angle of your shit might work with the angle of her shit.
It's like a puzzle.
Yeah,
it's a puzzle. It truly.
But
it's
men,
beautiful.
you can see it.
This
Women,
is
you can't see
Look
their
at us
puzzle
talking
piece.
like that. This is
That's what I'm
gorgeous.
saying. With men, you can see their puzzle piece. With women, you can't see it. You don't know until you're there.
That's true. Look how nice this is. Look, Randy, at the way he talks online, and he's like, "Love is a puzzle. Sex is a puzzle. We just have to put the pieces together.
We just have to do drugs and fuck."
Oh, there we go. There it goes back. There it goes. But you're extremely right, because I'll keep going back to a guy, and you could the same thing with you. You could keep going back to somebody, and I'm like, man, this guy sucks. I don't like this guy. I don't want a relationship with this guy. But the sex is so good, and you keep going back, and you're like, why? It could be, you're right, chemistry.
No, you know what it is for
could
me?
be the puzzle.
For me, it's always just fun.
Okay.
Like think about it. Like there's never a weirder moment than after you both come, and you're like, oh my god. Like like if you want to hang around after that, like, oh, she's fucking fun. You're like,
yeah.
I like fun.
Yeah.
You're giggling when you're fucking doing it. Like it's not weird when you're going to get a little cum rag. Like, let me wipe that off you, babe. Like, I like it to be fun.
Make a little bit out of it. Like, let me.
Oh my god! One time I made a sock puppet.
Wait, is it bad? It's so bad because we're comics that like things will happen during sex,
and
I'm like, I gotta write this down. I gotta do it.
I'll say it. I'll say the thought in my head and ruin the moment. I've talked myself out of so much sex, Riley.
Great goddamn bit, Randy.
Just 'cause it's funny.
A goddamn
no,
bit.
I won't leave it unsettled. Like just I'll talk about how funny it is, and we'll start laughing, and then like like it's fun to giggle a little bit during sex, but if you're making a fucking hard joke and you're both laughing,
takes everyone out of it.
It's like boop.
It kind of takes it all. You're like, oh, comedy, stop it.
Like, all right, let's go get another drink, and then we'll come back here.
Has anyone ever? Because like this one joke that I've tweeted. I've said on stage before. I posted it. I haven't done it in a long time because I think it's very silly and it's I don't think I've actually like written out correctly.
This is one of these jokes you keep trying to make work and then leave it.
I'm like, I don't know if it's actually.
You'll never let it die. Like I'll get this one to work. I'll get this one.
One day, because in the moment it was so crazy, and to this day, the guy who I did it, like it happened with, he's always like, "So how's that joke doing?" Because literally, I was having I was hooking up. He was a DJ. I was hooking up.
Oh God! Well, that's
he's a sweetheart.
Tough start.
I do adore him. But we were hooking up, and we were gonna titty fuck.
Okay.
And he was like, "Oh, let me like lube up, I guess, like just to like extra whatever." Yeah. And I'm about to put him, in my mouth, and he put something on his dick, and I'm thinking it's lube.
Yeah.
I don't know, right? Yeah.
Water-based silicone lube,
exactly
like a normal human being.
Like a normal person. And I start sucking it, and I'm like,
what was it?
I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what? And I'm thinking, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, I look, like, look over. I'm trying to like make it see that. It's Aveeno. It's the lotion, Aveeno. I have celiac disease, and I can't have. I can't have gluten.
It's an oatmeal-based lotion for those who don't know.
Literally oats, literally wheat, full wheat, and I have full-blown celiac. And I go, what the fuck? I was like, I would eat a piece of cake.
My throat's closing up. My tits are breaking out in hives. What is going on?
I was like, are you? But you know what? This is how crazy I am.
Pouring Benadryl on your titties. Like.
I kept in my head. I'm like, I can keep going. I can keep going. So I keep going, right? And I go,
your throat's closing up. Now your throat has vaginitis.
Everything's tight. So that's the anaphylactic. I get my stomach.
Oh no.
Gets fucked up. I didn't realize how soon. Usually it doesn't take it usually takes a while for me to react to gluten.
But it's pure oat mash.
But I guess I was sucking.
Making a dude come. It's like, I got 3 minutes. I can do this.
Countdown, right? But
come on, dude.
Yeah. Are you gonna come? I'm gonna vomit. What's gonna happen here?
Well, that's what happened.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's what happened.
Was he into it?
I didn't.
Because
I can still finish if you can.
Some guys like that shit. I've been on the internets.
Oh, we know.
I've been in the dark web. I know what's going on out there.
I literally was like, oh, because I went on top of it. And I started kept sucking dick, and then I was like, oh, I felt it, and I was like, oh, did it already kick in? Oh shit, and it came out, and I was like, oh my, and we still kept hooking up we still like late. No, not even that day, but like later in life, we still like hang out. Great guy, but like,
no, I was like,
what the fuck was that about?
No, but
he apologized.
But instances like that are like I kind of put in the fun category. It's like, oh, something weird happened, you're cool about it. Like, oh shit, like mistakes happen, and you play it cool. Like, hey, sorry, I'll take care of you. Whatever.
And he apologized too. And I
didn't know you had celiac. I'm so sorry.
He appreciated.
I just grabbed the lotion I had. Whatever.
Right, and he still says to this day. I remember when I posted that joke. I didn't tell him. I posted it.
When I named him first and last name.
He still says, so
and so did this to me. Like,
yeah, I should have tagged him. Honestly, he probably would have enjoyed that. But he still says this. He's like, hey man, I'm sorry about that. He's like, I didn't realize.
Did he know?
He knew. Oh, did he
know you had celiac before this?
The celiac strangler.
I know.
Do you know you had celiac? Do you know if Vino was made from oats?
He might have not realized. Okay. He might have not realized, and I get it. It's a mistake. Also, putting lotion on a dick before in the mouth, that just shouldn't have happened. I don't know if that's like.
I mean, come on.
Like
listen,
lotion in the mouth.
I'm old school. I go acoustic. Spit.
See, thank you.
Just spit on it.
Just regular,
just keep
normal,
spitting on it until
traditional. Spit.
The way the Lord intended.
Amen.
Jesus died on the cross.
Hallelujah.
You don't believe in it, but I do.
Says the Jew. Hey, he was just not my guy, okay?
Yeah, who is the Jew's guy? Bibi Netanyahu?
Oh, fuck Bibi. No.
Look,
Moses.
Moses was, apparently Moses lived to be like 400 years old.
Be like a Moses. Yeah. Oh, really?
Well,
look at me. Oh, really?
Yeah, look, I mean,
I don't know. I feel like it's like telephone the Bible.
This is a book written in the Bronze Age before written language.
Right.
It's bullshit.
Yeah. I was like, this broken telephone, do they mean like...
It really is.
Do they mean like 40?
But my Moses is Charleston Heston, with the fucking big beard.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know. We don't really have a lot of like... We have people. We have like the fathers, Abraham, all that.
That's why I feel like that's why Judaism is the coolest religion. Because you guys barely believe anymore.
I do.
It's like a cultural thing, not like an actual practice.
Well, there's levels.
Oh yeah, no, there's levels. There's
levels to it.
I grew up in New York, right? Most Jews that I know go twice a year, Yom Kippur, and
so the super
reformed hair gang,
right? Oreo Hasidic Jews. I grew up very conservative.
I grew up in Ridgewood, fucking Williamsburg's right there. They're all over the place.
Oh, so you know exactly. Yeah. And I grew up very conservative. I grew up in a town called Cherry Hill, and Cherry Hill is like 10% Jew. It's Philly, a lot of Jews. A lot of Jews. So I was grateful to be surrounded by Jews, but it was like conservative Jews. Whereas like I went to synagogue every Saturday. Did all the holidays.
Wear the curly cues and wear a wig.
But I didn't keep kosher. Yeah. I kept kosher light,
That I feel like is the big one.
Kosher?
Yeah. Cause
I did it 4 years in high school. That's it.
Well, no, that's the thing. Like, my entire childhood life, like, I didn't eat fucking fish meat on Fridays.
Oh, because of school. Wait, why?
Because Catholics don't eat meat on Fridays.
I didn't know that was
fish.
I didn't know that was a thing. Every Friday?
Especially during Lent, but most Fridays.
I know about that. I knew that one. I was like, wait, I knew about the fish.
Real Catholics don't eat meat.
I didn't know that.
I'm like, I don't think God cares what day you eat what meat.
See, and
like, it's good on a Tuesday, but not on a Thursday. What?
A lot of rules.
I don't think God's that petty.
Right. God's like, haha, I'm really fucking up your diet
he's
today.
He's pretty omnipitent. I don't think he's that petty.
Sure.
If you don't want us to have fish on Friday, he'd eliminate fish from the world.
Right.
Like, whatever. Meat.
And you get punished with celiac.
I know. When God was like, okay, celiac and vaginismus, I'm over here like, what the fuck did I do in my past life? What the fuck? If sex and gluten, those two things are great.
I want to know if there's a Facebook group.
There's got to be. I'm on the celiac Facebook group. Let me tell you.
If you post the vaginismus group.
I should find one. Honestly, though, they get kind of intense sometimes. The
vaginismus group?
The celiac one.
I was like, what?
But honestly, the vaginismus, who knows? Facebook gets weird. This woman posted her poop one time on the celiac group saying, is this normal? Someone's like, go to the doctor. Like, go to the fucking doctor. Why are you posting in
I'm going to post my balls and say, is this normal?
Oh, God.
Is my balls normal?
Here we go.
Oh, shit. That's your balls. Oh, I just checking.
That's what I'm saying. Facebook is kind of spooky. So I'm like,
well, Facebook is become kind of like the Craigslist of social media.
Oh, interesting.
It's like where you go to, like, you just go on a rant.
Well, that's all these comments go on and just fucking like go off about stuff. I had to delete Facebook off my phone because I was like, I go on it and just see everyone's annoyed and mad. I'm like,
well, I have two. One for the like the professional Instagram account. Then I have like a personal one, but I blocked everyone on them. My grandmother followed me. I
love that.
She's great. She's 94.
Oh, that's amazing.
Filthy. She's super Catholic. I followed her. I blocked her.
So See, all my family follows me and they see my comedy.
Oh, my family knows.
Oh, they know. Yep, they know. My second bringer at Caroline's. I did it for a little bit until I couldn't.
Yeah.
My uncle surprised me. He worked in the Bronx, and I want to try this blowjob joke. My first one ever.
Hopefully not on him.
Oh no, Randy, you're so goddamn. And you know what? You're so fast too. I have to be like, what the fuck did he just say? But he surprised me. He was in the back of Caroline's. I didn't even see him, and I did the blowjob joke. And he came up to me after. He's like, "That was great, Riley. Like, congrats," and left. And I went, "Here we go. The family's like, you know what I mean?" I was like, "This is it.
Yeah.
This is welcome."
No.
And to this day, my dad will go, "Yo, I love that balls joke." Like my father will say that, and I'm like, I'm so like grateful that like I have parents. Like I'm grateful for that.
So am I, because I have friends whose family like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right. And it's sad. When I see that, I feel terrible.
Your family doesn't love you. They don't want you to do what makes you happy.
I know, it's sad. Yeah.
Like, are you living hand to mouth? No.
And I get it. It's harder. And some people are like, why would you choose this life when there's so many other jobs and so many different things you could do? Like, consistent things.
I live with a gay guy, and I feel like it's kind of like being gay. It's like, man, I didn't choose this life. The life chose me. You know what I'm saying?
It's part of you.
This is what I want. This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, you have to.
You know, like I'm living a life honest to myself.
Right. And my mom says all the time.
My family supports it. You know.
I love that. And my mom says all the time to me. She goes, it's you, and this is what you have to do, and you have to do everything you can for it. Yeah. She goes, and she's an artist.
Alive.
Yeah.
Keep the dream alive.
And she was an artist, and she goes, I get it. She goes, I understand. My father's a dentist.
Okay.
So
yeah. No.
For a while, he's like, what is going on?
My family are all blue collar humps.
Oh gosh.
But they're like
all in Boston.
No, I'm from New York. I was living in Boston.
New York. My bad. New York. Right.
And they were like, yeah, it's like, we didn't do this shit, so you don't have to do this shit too. Like, go do whatever. Like, we worked hard, and you went and got an education, so you got a good job, and then you go do whatever the fuck you want. So you can
live your dream. Yeah.
Like, life's too short not to do what you love. You know.
See, I love that.
And that's part of the reason why I didn't want him to come for the first year, because like, I wanted to be good.
Sure.
So the first time they saw me was, I think, my third road trip with Jeff. I was doing road gigs with Jeff Dye. Took me on the road. And we were doing the Stress Factory in New Jersey. And I was like, all right, you know. So my mom came out.
I love it.
My sister, and my sister's oldest kid, my nephew, who had just turned 18 at the time. So he was able to come to the club. And I had a bunch of material about my mom, because my mom is in her 60s now, late upper 60s. She's married to a guy younger than me.
Yes, Mom.
Yeah, exactly. My sister had been divorced. So I had a whole bunch of shit on my family. And I'm like, Jeff, should I do those family bits? He goes, I didn't fucking fly you 1,500 miles out to this gig.
not to do your bits.
Do those fucking bits.
Right.
They'll love it.
Good.
And they all laughed, and it was great.
Yeah.
But this weekend, not the weekend, but a week from Saturday, the day before my birthday, my 94-year-old grandmother, I'm inviting her. I'm doing Orlando. She lives outside of Orlando. I'm inviting her to the gigs first time. And I was hesitant about it. I was very hesitant about it.
Of course.
She's like super conservative old lady. I'm like, I don't know. She want to hear this shit. And I called my sister up. I called Kelly. I'm like, Kelly, just gonna be. Yeah, she don't. My sister see my shit. She's like,
sure. Like, is this gonna be okay?
She's all Randy.
This is gonna kill Grandma. Like, what are we gonna do?
Randy, after my grandfather passed away a few years ago. I was like, after Pop died, she's been spending a lot of time with Aunt Sally. My Aunt Sally took her to a drag show a couple months ago. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, also, she has the internet. She can Google you.
Right. She can see your videos.
Yeah, all the shit you don't think she hears.
She probably sees. Yeah.
She hears it all. All
right.
So she's thrilled. So I'm happy to.
Oh, I love that. I'm so excited for you.
41st birthday treat for me. My grandmother. That's
going to be so good. You're going to have the best time.
I know. So I'm going to have to break out all my family material. Really let them have it.
Oh, you did all of it? my grandma, before she passed, she saw me a couple times. And like, I prayed. I wish she could see now, because she saw like the first 2 years. But she said, my first year in comedy. And she said, she would be like, do more, get more, like talk more about the family. Like she would she wanted me to dig deeper.
That's what my grandfather, my grandmother's husband was.
Like dig deeper, yeah.
And he was the guy who he started introduced me to comedy when I was 5, 6 years old. Like, fucking watching First Blues Day Off and all these comedy movies, and he would show me, fucking young George Carlin, all this stuff, and he passed right when probably about a year and a half after I started.
Yeah.
So,
because then you look back, you're like, I wish.
That's my biggest regret is not having him on this podcast. Because I had my grandmother on a couple years ago.
I love
not having him on the podcast, not having him to a show. So I'm like, all right, I gotta.
It is like, it's beautiful and it's sad where you're like, man, I wish.
Well, you want to share the best
You
times
want
of your
to
life
share
with
the
people you
best,
love,
right?
you know?
And I did a Jewish community center show Christmas weekend in Atlantic City, and it was like 100 people, about 80 average, 85 and older.
Oh yeah.
Right. So
I played Boca.
Let me tell you, they were fantastic.
Jewish
But
audiences are the best.
They're and these old, they because they couldn't be too dirty. But when I got a little dirty, they ate that shit up. But I was talking to them, and all of a sudden I was like, man, my bubby would fucking be freaking out right now that I'm doing this for so stuff like that you think about, and you just keep to your heart, and it's beautiful, but it can get sad. Yeah,
I know it's sad because you wanted to be a part of it, but I also feel like there's been a big shift in the world where older people are cooler than younger people.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Like
certain things. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like I travel through comedy, on the road, and I feel like if you're under 25. Mm-hmm. You can be a little uptight.
Okay.
But if you're over 60,
they don't give a shit. They don't give a fuck.
I mean, these are all the boomers and hippies, the drug addicts from the 60s.
All the drugs that they've
done.
Let
it rip, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck my wife after the show. Fine. Like the free
honestly, the shit that they say after the shows.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like these old couples will come up to me and they're like, oh, hi. And I'm thinking they're going to be like all sweet. And then they're like, so my husband, his balls are so long. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the heck? Beatrice, I didn't see that fucking coming.
Is that like male vaginismus?
You
got long balls? Long ball isthmus?
I wonder. I've never done a vaginismus, talked about that in an older crowd, because honestly, these women probably they're still figuring this shit out, right? They probably had no clue. Like, oh man, I don't know what to do with. Oh shit! I wonder if I talk, because to this day, like we said, if I talk about that at a comedy show, women will come up to me. Other female comics have been like, I think I might have this. Where do you go to?
It's like the silent curse in the female community.
It really, and you know what it is? We don't talk about it enough, right?
Oh, we're talking about. We spent 65% of this podcast talking about vaginismus, and I'm gonna do a lot of Googling after this. I'm gonna start a support group.
I hope that
I'm gonna start a support group. I think I'm gonna be a cult leader of vaginismus.
And I didn't even know. Hi, honey.
Hey, Wrigley's making an appearance. Riggs.
Hi. Oh, see me.
Vaginismus support animal.
Right? An ally. Hi.
Yeah. Wrigley's a vaginismus ally.
Hi. So cute. No, I think it's important to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. I didn't even know the name of it for a while. I thought it was like a pelvic wall issue. I didn't know.
Listen, I'm not the smartest guy. I'm not the smartest guy on earth, but I'm a pretty well-read guy. I had never heard of the word vaginismus. Never heard of the problem of stretch out my vagina. Like none of this occurred.
Sure.
So it
could it be great in
I'm
health
thrilled
class?
I've learned more new today than anything.
Honestly,
I learned in all of college.
In high school, they should be teach us like taxes and vaginismus. Instead, they're like, here's how you do cursive, division, don't come inside a person.
Yeah, no shit. You know what the real moneymaker is? How to create vaginismus if your shit's all loose.
Well, okay,
right, so to go the other way.
It's not so much create. And I totally see what you're saying. Not so much creating, but it's strengthening your pelvic wall muscles. There's
Kegels?
There's weak Kegels. And that's the thing. There's exercises for all these things. Again, like you said before, I was so happy. It's a muscle.
Yeah,
it's a muscle. It's all a muscle, and all it is just like figuring it out, figuring out your body, making sure your partner is understanding, and like that's all. Yeah. And it's a puzzle, like you said.
You want to hear the weird thing that guys are doing?
There's so many weird things. I'm scared.
I spoke about it probably about a year and a half ago with George Dulcich. There are guys out there trying to regrow their foreskin. There's a whole movement of this thing.
Wait.
Yeah.
You're like, how do you
just will it back?
They're trying to stretch it out.
Right.
Yeah, no. They put
that makes sense.
They put cock weights
on
their foreskin to try and and they permanently just like They're basically just rubber bands that like tie around their ankles.
Oh
and
shit!
keep yanking their foreskin.
That makes me sad.
Have you seen hoops in people's ears?
Right. Just
Your dick skin's gonna.
You know what? It's sad because it's like the first time I ever saw a guy with foreskin, it was in England.
Well, you're Jewish because guys.
Jewish, right? And I just wasn't around, whatever. And when we were in England, I studied abroad, and I went there and I hooked up with a dude, and he had foreskin, and I remember I touched it. He went.
Did you know about it?
I knew, of course, knew about it, but I didn't understand how they're like, oh, it's sensitive, right? He got so much pleasure, much faster, right? Like well, I guess every penis is different, of course, but I was like, damn, like he really instantly was like I touched it and it was like.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Blamed it on the foreskin.
I'm glad they removed mine. I'm glad they removed mine.
All guys with foreskin.
They doubled the time of sex from 1 minute to 2.
Right. But I'm like, are guys missing pleasure because of this?
I don't know because I don't have it.
I've only had my dick one way for
all
of my sexual experiences.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it made me sad. I was like, if guys are losing pleasure, that's sad.
But I watched a documentary that was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still there. It's called American Circumcision. Check it out, guys.
I've heard of this. Yes.
One more time, the church fucks us. Imagine.
Yeah, exactly. What bothered me was how it was just perfunctory in America. And it's not like in Israel where it's a cultural thing with Judaism.
Or like all Jews
do it
just
here
did
for no reason. Like
a health.
Yeah, you have to. That's what they say, but they don't remove your appendix at birth because it might burst. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't remove your gallbladder because it might get infected.
Do you think there's not enough research that they're like, okay, this is a health?
It's just you have to tell the hospital not to remove your son's foreskin.
Yeah.
If you want, the hospital automatically does it unless you tell them not to.
Sure.
And I was like, yeah, wait a minute. That's kind of fucking weird. Like, would you remove like a girl's clit?
See, in other countries, and they're like, it's not good. It's right, and it really,
leave that baby alone.
Messes up the body.
When he has a medical need, then fix it. Don't go.
And I've only grown up knowing, like, I went to bris when I was a kid. Like, who knew?
Do they bite it off like the old days?
No, okay, so I think, I think that's...
Because there's that famous story in New York. There's that famous story of that one Orthodox rabbi.
Moyle, it's called a Moyle, yeah.
Who was doing little boys, but he had herpes and gave the fucking...
I think a lot of it stems from the... there's probably cult practices within the community.
Well, also,
who
they
knows?
didn't have knives back in the Stone Age when they started this shit.
Exactly, and I think it was more of like a routine, right? Yeah. But then it's also the stereotype of like the babies and all that. So I think it's a combination probably of it all, of the hate of the stereotypes, like, oh, of course they're sucking the blood, but it's also like maybe it was part of some sort of system that years ago. But the bris I've gone to, no one's doing that. So I've never seen that.
What do they celebrate at a bris? Is it like a christening? Like, what do they do?
Yeah, it feels like one. It feels like there's food, there's drink, and
then the baby cries a little bit, and it's
baby
over?
Cries, gets some little wine, and it's done. Girls have baby namings. So we get our names. I should know more about this.
I should know more about Judaism.
Baby naming, and I have a Hebrew name, and I have an English name, right?
What's your Hebrew name?
It's Razel Rivka.
Rivka?
Razel is Yiddish. My parents did not listen.
Sounds like a porn actress, Razel Rivka.
You know what? Now that you say it,
double R's.
Damn, yeah, those double R's.
Rivka. I'm gonna Google those Razel Rivka videos later.
Razel Rivka.
With the vaginismus, you can be hot.
And the thing is, I came into comedy. I was like, should I go by a different name? You know what I mean? Like, should I go by?
I thought about it because my name's a handful, and also people don't believe my name is Randy. I'm like, no, it's just Randy.
I know. Honestly, I've only known one other Randy in my life.
Yeah, I've only met one other one until I went to Texas.
Okay.
There's a lot of male Randys. I met one other Randy growing up as a female. Never met another one in my whole life.
My dad's named Randy.
No shit.
Oh, really?
No shit.
Oh. What's their middle name? What's his middle name?
Dean.
That's a nice name.
It's a good name.
Randall Dean.
Randy Dean.
Randy Dean.
Randy Dean should have been my fucking stage
Honestly,
name.
that's fantastic. That's fantastic. What does he do?
Fucks chicks.
Sells insurance.
Oh, okay, Randy.
No,
Randy Dean.
Randy Dean, no.
Sells insurance. What's your middle name?
Thomas.
Randall Thomas?
No, it's just Randy.
Just Randy Thomas.
There's no...
Honestly, Randy Thomas is kind of cool.
Thanks. I almost went by that, but it was like, it's fucking corny.
Sounds like an insurance company.
Yeah, exactly. Randy Thomas.
The same one.
Well, Randy Thomas was like a left guard for the fucking
really?
Washington Redskins for years.
I did not know that.
Yeah. But you go down to Texas,
Bunch of Randys.
10% of the guys named Randy. It's a very popular name in Texas. Like, what the fuck? It's like, that's how I know my family fucked up. There's something wrong in Texas.
Like, that's where you're learning this from?
I know like 9 Randys in Texas.
That's great. Wait, both of our names I was like, what if I was a boy? Oh, my name's going to be Ryan. It was going to be Ryan.
Ryan Lassin.
If I was, Ryan River Lassin.
Ryan River Lassin?
It's like, what the fuck?
Ryan River sounds like a porn
Ryan River sounds gay. Yeah. Ryan
River
River sounds cool.
It's like a gay porn star.
See, in the Jewish tradition, a lot of Jews, what they do is you name your kid after the person who died, like the most recent person who passed away, pretty much, their first letter of their name.
Okay.
And then you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So in my head, I have like a couple letters I can name my kids. So I was named after my great grandma Rose and my great grandma Ruth. So my name is Riley Renee. So like you name after. Honestly, it helps. It cuts down a lot of letters.
Well, Thomas is a family name. So my grandfather passed away. It was his first name.
Thomas. Okay, that's
so
very much.
our middle names are our grandparents' first names.
Okay, yeah. That's, okay, so I knew people did that.
So my mom knew right away what my sister's middle name was, what my brother's would be.
Oh, easy. Wait, what's your sister's middle name? Thomas?
Maria.
Oh.
Kelly Maria.
Okay, never mind.
That's my father's Kelly Thomas.
I was like, wait, honestly, that's a great name too.
And my brother's is Jesse Lee.
Oh, that's okay. Very nice. Yeah, it's interesting with the naming. I'm like, this. You know a lot about families. As soon as you hear about the names, you're like, okay, that makes sense.
I'm not gonna have kids, so it all dies with me.
You don't want kids? I'm sorry. This is no want kids.
No. What do you mean? Sorry. It's public
I know,
knowledge.
because with women, it's like you're like, oh, you don't want. It's like, no, it's okay. Yeah.
No, man, I'm 41.
No, men can. Hey, look at these actors. They're fucking.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing.
You could be 80 and have a kid.
So I used to be, in a fucking marriage or whatever. And she was like, let's get kids. I'm like, no, we're not. I don't want them now.
Yeah.
And then she kept pressing it. I was like, I definitely don't want them. That's when we got
Sure.
But I could always change my mind. It's one of the few trump cards men have. It's like, Robert De Niro, 84 years old, is a kid on the way.
Right.
We'll have one.
Well, there's like this pressure. Yeah.
I mean, I am invested in this and the lifestyle I want, and I was talking about it a few weeks ago. Like, I don't. The world's
this is
not a
what
good
you
place.
want, and then exactly, it's what you want.
Not my interest.
And I always say that to if it's
Not
what
my
you
interest.
want, and you see your life, this is your life. This is no one else's life. It's Randy's life.
Don't you feel
it's Randy
unfulfilled?
Thomas's life?
No.
Yeah.
No, and I love my unborn kids so much. This world is shit. I'm not bringing them here. Like,
yeah. Right.
What? So I can eat cat food out of a can in the dystopia that's going to be the world in 50 years? No, thanks.
Yeah.
Living in the desert in Arizona, trying to stay away from nuclear radiation. I'm not fucking. No, put them through that.
Why Arizona?
Well, I try to think of someplace horrible.
I know. I say my dad goes there sometimes. He kind of likes it.
No, I love Arizona.
Yeah, I hear it's very. Look at us.
I know.
It's like actually, I heard it's actually kind of nice.
Do you do the road?
You know what? I've been doing
there.
a lot of like tri-state. Like I do a lot of like Connecticut and like New York, New Jersey. That's why I was like, everyone was Riley. Why are you going to LA? Literally, everyone's like, you need to go to LA. You need to go to LA.
I'll reach out to some friends in Florida. You gotta go down to Florida.
Oh yeah, every time I go to synagogue for like the high holidays for the big Yom Kippur rush, they tell me
you can do a whole tour.
No, they say you have to go to Boca.
Yeah,
you have to go to Boca. So
I
gotta get my ass and get out there and figure that out because I know it would be fun. I know it would be fun.
So how's your first time in LA?
I'm loving it actually. I'm actually really. I was a little nervous.
You said you met up with a guy. You met a guy.
No, I didn't meet a guy. I wanted to meet a guy in LA.
I thought you said you had.
Oh no, I was texting
a guy back
home. I went on OkCupid for the first time.
OkCupid, old school.
Because you know what? Every time I would do crowd work, people were either meeting on fucking Hinge or OkCupid.
Is that the hot one now? Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, I didn't know. But I went. Okay, I said,
I'm off them. I'm not.
You're not off them. See, I gotta fucking stop. But
I'm old school.
One night, I was like, I was bored. I was home. It was raining out. I was a little bored. I was like, you know what? Let me download OkCupid. I matched with this man. So cute. We're talking. We're vibing. It's great. Man, he tells me the end of the day, when was it? I was at New York Comedy Club and about to go on stage. I'm messaging this man. I go, hey, about to go on stage. The last show of the night. It was 11:30 show. Last show of the night. I'll text you after I get off stage. I'm in such a good mood. I go on stage, have a great set. I get off stage. Long message saying, I appreciate what you do. I think your drive to be a comedian is respectable, but I don't think it will work out in the long run.
What the fuck was that about?
I said, what?
Why? Because I'm married.
I said, what the heck? I said, what the? I said, showed all the comments. I go, what the fuck is this? What is this? They said, ask him like, what's it for? He goes, I said, is it the content? Is it my content? He goes, well, kind of. I was like, damn.
No,
damn.
you're good. You're
I got
better off.
so sad. I know, but he is so cute. We had good conversation. But I was like, he's like, yeah, for marriage. I don't know if it'll work. I'm like, damn, marriage.
I'm just trying to get a drink, buddy.
Just trying to get a free meal over
man,
here.
I'm always on that.
I was
shit, man.
so sad.
If you don't find what I find funny, let's wrap it up.
I know.
Like, that's why I'm never afraid to walk somebody. It's like, oh, you don't like it? Get the fuck out. Like,
right. And I
want
need
people
that.
who want to fuck with me. Like,
sure. And there are people.
Millions of people.
And then my friends were telling me that. And, a bunch of my guy friends were they said, Riley, you will find a man. You will find someone. You will find a partner that not only like supports you and appreciates it, but thinks you're fucking funny and into it. And I go, yeah. Because then all of a sudden I'm like, man, like, my fucking comedy got me out of this date. I was so mad. I was like, oh, man. Oh, okay.
Oh, my comedy's talked me out of a lot of options.
No.
I've lost jobs, women, family members. I can't even imagine. Money, fucking... my pride.
Damn. Okay, shit.
But this is what I want to do.
There's one relationship, and Randy's like, my whole life.
I want people on board who are with it.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. So, yeah, I was, and that's the last guy and my roster is all gone. I'm just like, I'm starting fresh now.
You're on the right podcast. Fellas, at Riley Lassin. Where can they find you?
What a great way. What a fucking... You can find me at Riley Lassin.
Yeah,
everywhere.
creep on her. She's got vaginismus, which is choice.
Yeah, just we're gonna breathe. We're gonna breathe together. We'll breathe together, and we'll have a great time.
You ease it in.
We'll have. Tight. Oh, that's too much. Too much. This is why you're losing things. This is why we're losing things.
Shh, so tight.
Not the shh.
Just take it. Just take it.
You're doing so well. Randy was doing so well. He was saying how sex is a puzzle.
I know. Where's
that?
I had to upend it all at the end.
I know. I understand.
I just flip the Monopoly board over when I'm losing.
We had to finish strong, and I understand.
At Riley Lassin. This is coming out in 2 weeks.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. That's great.
You got dates? You got anything? Just at Riley Lassin.
Anything coming out? I'm trying to think if I have anything coming up. Look at me. No, I'm in New York.
Okay.
If you're out in New York, catch me.
Most of my listeners are in New York.
Oh, beautiful. Catch me out there. I'm all over.
At Riley Lassin. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me. I had a blast.
I had so much fun.
It's so much fun to meet you finally. Oh, you guys, this is wonderful.
Best. Guys, follow me at Randy Valera. Follow the podcast at Ready Set Blow Podcast. Second Floor Studios. Mike Nell, a soldier, the best. We love you guys. We'll check you next week. Peace.